travel isn't just about destinations. It's about the people you meet, the cultures you immerse yourself in, the stories you carry home. I'm Relebogile Mabocha, and on my travel feature, I take you on a journey beyond the guidebook. Each week, I connect with fellow travelers, insiders, and storytellers to bring you the heart of every place. Whether it's a hidden gem right here in South Africa or a dream destination abroad. Join me as we travel through conversations, memories, and inspiration. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
All right, it's 9:36. We are still discussing a variety of issues. I'll come back to your calls. I see all your calls on Floyd Chivambu, but I want to bring something else to your attention very quickly. So there's two interesting stories that I've picked up on in the city of Cape Town on the one end, as well as in the city of Tshwane on the other end. I'll start with Cape Town. So in Bellville, there's a story about foreign nationals. I think it's African migrants, around 360 of them living in tents. They understand that they're refusing to leave. They moved there 5 years ago from a church in Green Market Square. Now, according to reports that I've been hearing, they don't want to be reintegrated into their old communities here in South Africa. They claim it's too dangerous. They don't want to be taken back home to their respective countries. They say that's also too dangerous. You're hearing reports about how they want to be taken, I think, by South Africa to Canada and the likes. So I'm trying to understand what's actually going on. I'm joined on the line for a quick one on this one by Cape Town Mayor Geordin Hill-Lewis. Geordin, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your time. I'll try to be quick. The residents there, they feel you are unfair. They seem to want better options put on the table from the city. But you, on the other hand, are worried about grime and crime.
Well, these two kind of refugee tents, if we call them that, have become sites of huge public complaints in the area. There's one in Kensington where people are constantly reporting crime, and similar in Bellville. In Bellville, the two groups of refugees have actually started fighting with one another, and there's been an illegal eviction of one group by the other group. So there's now a significant chunk of them actually living on the pavement outside the tents in Bellville because they're not allowed to go back inside by the others. So this is becoming a very messy and totally unsustainable situation. Living conditions inside those tents are poor. They are costly. The city has stopped paying for the tents a few years ago now, but Home Affairs is still paying for them. We are still paying for toilets on site and so on. It has to end now.
You are approaching the court, or you've approached the courts and I've seen this movie before. There will be NGOs that are involved that will try to get in the way. So in your eyes, how do you resolve this? Because from my understanding, these people are saying, take us out of the country, that's fine, but take us to Canada. Don't take us back to where we come from in terms of the different countries. Don't take us to communities where we come from here because we've experienced xenophobic attacks. So what is the impasse and what's the way forward?
Well, to my mind, there are only two options. The one option is repatriation to their country, and that would be the responsibility of the Department of Home Affairs, and they've agreed that they would do that. We've offered to contribute to the costs of that in a small way, nothing very substantial, but we will help. And then the other option is what's always been on the table, that they reintegrate into the South African community if they are here legally. And that option is theirs, but there is no option which includes them staying at those sites.
But lastly, the issue of the NGOs. I don't know if you are having conversations with them as well on the side to try and find a way outside. Because if you go to the courts will act in accordance with what's in the Constitution. And often we've seen governments failing in this regard.
Look, let me be honest. There are a number of NGOs that oppose these actions in Cape Town and around South Africa. We've seen that. And they often label themselves as human rights organizations. I think sometimes they should be called anti-human rights organizations because it is not nice for the people who are living there. It's not dignified. That's not a place where children should be growing up. Many of them are not attending school. There's levels of health are poor there. It really is not a good situation that no one should be looking to perpetuate and lengthen. And it just doesn't make sense to me that there's organizations who actually want people to stay in those conditions and want to prevent the state from acting in the best interests of those people, even if they don't see it necessarily the same way. It is in their undoubtedly in their best interest and in the best interest of the broader community as well. As for Canada, look, I must be honest with you. I even approached the former Canadian ambassador just to check, is there some system in Canada that I'm not aware of where these people could actually be accepted? And of course the response was no, that's never going to happen. That's ludicrous. So even when I went there a couple of days ago, they were repeating again the same demand: we will not leave unless we go to Canada. I don't know who's told them that is an option. Obviously, the levels of understanding are also fairly poor, but that is definitely not an option and will never be an option.
My part in short, Jordan, is there a room for you to speak to the NGOs that are involved to try and find the solutions that are viable?
So there's no NGOs involved in this case at the moment. Even the United Nations High Commission on Refugees is supporting this eviction. And they agree that it must now happen. They've tried. The UNHCR has tried over years to try and get these particular residents to see sense and to accept the help and the offers that the government has made. And so they've now come to the point where they've made it clear that they support it. Other NGOs might get involved later in the case. I sincerely hope not. And of course, if that is the case, and they do get involved, we will engage them at the time, as we do around. You've seen the work that we're doing with the homeless community in Cape Town. We work reasonably constructively with the NGOs. The thing that frustrates me is when they oppose simply for the sake of opposing, even when there is a much better offer on the table. In the case of homelessness, we've developed the safe space model, which offers very dignified, excellent alternative, and yet still we see them opposing cases simply for the sake of opposing, and that actually just prolongs people suffering on the street. So we hope that they don't do that.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your time. That's Cape Town Mayor Geordin Hill-Lewis. They're giving us a quick update on that really bizarre story. But then if you look at, it's not bizarre, it's actually quite common, and it does require a proper solution, actually. And then if you've been watching overnight in Tshwane, the mayor, Dr. Tshidi Madia, has been leading by law enforcement operations. They've hit house spots. They went to House 22. You all know yourselves on House 22. They gave businesses eviction notices. They checked on permits. Interestingly enough, she flagged that they are going back. These are revisits, and some of the areas that they'd closed down before our operation. I want you to take a listen to a post she put up on social media last night about these raids.
Residents of Tshwane, we are back in Sunnyside. You will recall that a few weeks ago, we were here, we closed down all these shops because they are not complying. They opened, we came back, we closed them down, they opened, now we are back again. Really, it's tiring to deal with these people. These people are just like, something else. The audacity of just sheer disrespect of our laws. And I think we also dropped the ball here because these people were never supposed to reopen again, but we are here now. So we have closed others. We have taken away those without proper documentation. There was an operation at the flat where some of them, they ran to the flat, and we are checking them now, and we've got our team from the different departments. So I know what is important is that we're not going to give up on this fight. You can see that this city has been stolen right under our nose, and we must reclaim it. So we here this evening. We're going to come back again and again and again until we get it right.
I apologize for the quality of that audio, but you can hear the mayor, Dr. Tshidi Madia of the capital in Tshwane, sounds really frustrated. They have the operations, they shut these unlawful establishments down, and then they come back and they're up and running again, over again. What do the cities need to do? How should cities be approaching these issues where they're trying to enforce bylaws? And that is being undermined by all manner of stakeholders, What do they need to do? 011 883 0702.